buddy Mike Messier. Just going to do a little Mike's Instant Movie review. Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. Yes, I did purchase a ticket. I got the momentum to prove it. And interesting. Nice picture, by the way. So you might be saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, you don't look like the stereotypical Taylor Swift fan. That's true. I will admit to that. Uh, but you know what? I mean, look, you buy a ticket, you see the show, right? That's how democracy works. And as someone who makes art myself, visual art, writing books, acting in movies when I can. Uh, Hold on. My theory is, whoever wants to enjoy the art should enjoy it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I'll tell you a little story since you asked. When I was a teenager, I went to see AC/DC, which was, at the time, my favorite rock band by far. Now they're in the top 3 or 5. And let's just call it the way I see it. I mean, call it the way it was. Mostly Caucasian audience, 18,000 people, Capitol Center, Landover, Maryland. But in the parking lot going into the event, I saw 4 African American or black gentlemen wearing, heavy metal concert, shirts of some kind, different heavy metal bands. And that kind of opened me up, that kind of opened up my mind to the fact that, music does not discriminate. At least it shouldn't. Art should not discriminate. The audience can choose what art they want to enjoy, whether it's music or theater or film. But I don't think that the artist should discriminate their audience at all. I think anyone who wants to buy a ticket should go. So that's why I went to see Taylor Swift. And but I was not. I did not expect what I experienced. I kind of relate this, maybe 10 or 12 years ago, Katy Perry was the big thing. I really didn't know much about Katy Perry, but it was an afternoon, Seacock, Massachusetts, and there was this Katy Perry movie playing in the theater. So I just kind of whimsically bought a ticket and went to go see it. And there was, maybe 4 or 5 people in this big auditorium for this movie. And I kind of learned all this stuff about Katy Perry. Her hero was Alanis Morissette, all this wonderful things. And, so I kind of thought that would be like what I would experience with this Taylor Swift movie. But I did start seeing all these reports of multiple big crowds already, like big advance sales. Somebody told me tonight before I went to see the movie that this is the biggest movie advance sale ever for the year or some such thing. So I was like, okay, it'll probably be a pretty good crowd. Well, it's 9:45 p.m. on a Friday night. I get into the theater at 9:40, a little bit early. And already there's a very healthy crowd. And, right at 9:45, the previews start. And, and then when the movie finally started, first thing that happened, I mean, the theater was pretty much packed, mostly female, various ages. I'd say there was, some dads in the audience, some boyfriends in the audience, mostly female. But the thing that happened was a lot of, immediately, people start standing up in the auditorium, and they're singing along with the songs. They know all the fucking words. And, I really didn't know the people sitting next to me. It was a couple, a guy and a girl. But if I was a little bit more outspoken to strangers, which I'm not, I would have said something to them like, I've been going to the movies my whole life. I've never seen people stand up and interact with the movie screen like this. You might think of maybe like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but that's a different deal. That's like you're basically told to. You have the live actors. Sometimes when you see Rocky Horror and the stuff like that. But this was not like that. This is a concert film. I mean, I just saw the Talking Heads concert film. I've seen other concert films that I've enjoyed. Metallica just a month or so or 2 months ago had a big 2-night concert, which was live, but nobody was standing up during the Metallica thing. I mean, you might see a tapping of a toe here and there. But here, it's like, fuck. I mean, the people, and when I say people, it's mostly kids and mostly, young women. I would guess teens, 20s, some 30s. But they're all just standing up and kind of like screaming and You know, for a couple of songs, like I was exempt, like, and I saw the guy sitting next to me, like the boyfriend guy. He was kind of looking over, like, what the fuck, you know, like seeing all these people standing up in the theater and singing and screaming. But luckily, the people, the row in front of us, nobody was standing up for like 2 songs, and then I guess, you know, the young women in front of us got empowered. Or felt encouraged to stand and to sing. And hey, look, I'm not gonna say anything, you know, but they, no offense to them, but they had horrible fucking voices and just like the worst, you know, I would have the worst teenage girl voices you can imagine, and just, but they're having fun, you know, that's the important thing. But I noticed they're not really like singing like the real like songy, you know, like songs that Taylor Swift can do, like the quick kind of staccato almost rap songs. They have all the fucking lyrics down and they're fucking like screaming in each other's face the lyrics. So I don't even know how they can enjoy that. I mean, I'd rather just hear the fucking singer sing the song. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big fan of karaoke. I don't like hearing good songs get butchered by bad singers, by plebeians. But these 2 young women, it's almost like a ritualistic thing. Like, I'm just, you know, but look, I mean, if you try to get into the mind of someone, who knows what you'll find. But it's like, it's rather than enjoying the music or enjoying the concert, they're really just enjoying each other's company, and Taylor Swift gives them a bond for their friendship. And they can kind of live like, I mean, I think the big thing with someone like Taylor Swift for these young fans is they live vicariously through her. You know, she's dating other famous people, you know, whoever the fuck she's fucking, and these young women get to live vicariously through her. And I will say this, you know, I think about, you know, something like Blonde Ambition, Madonna tour, you know, going way back when. Madonna, if you really think about it, was always kind of a heel. Like, she was kind of a bad guy, you know, or bad girl. Like, she was always pushing the envelope. She was always, you know, Papa Don't Preach and like a virgin and all this sexy stuff she was doing. But she wasn't really catering favor. Like, she wasn't really a kiss ass. But Taylor Swift, she really, you know, embraces the fans, her fans. She embraces, she thanks the fans after every 5 or 6 or 7 songs. Because of you, I can do all this, you know. So, I mean, she's really a baby face, which, you know, pro wrestling term for a good guy or a good girl. And she, and these fans are fucking dedicated. So, I mean, she's gonna have, I mean, she's already a billionaire. So, I mean, it's not like she's, I mean, all she had to put her money in a mutual fund or whatever the fuck. But Taylor Swift, she's always going to be able to make big time money because she's got this devoted fan base. I mean, it's almost like being in a church, and she is Christ, Muhammad, and fucking John Lennon all wrapped into one. See what I did? So, I mean, I give her credit for warping the imaginations of this entire generation of young people. So, you know, I mean, I guess if you're a high school boy or you know, a young man looking for a date or looking to meet a girl, you know, go to this fucking Taylor Swift concert movie. The other thing that I thought was interesting, I'm guessing that maybe this is the first concert film that a lot of these people have seen in the theater. I'm just guessing. And I don't know if they didn't know that it wasn't live. I mean, but maybe they don't care. I mean, you know, like saying that, not that they thought that Taylor Swift was actually there in the theater, but maybe they thought that the movie concert was a live event, which it's not. I mean, they probably could have figured that out because of all the different start times that they could have chosen to see. As far as the actual presentation itself, you know, I mean, I guess I was kind of thinking, you know, like the Katy Perry thing, that maybe they do some type of little shish boom ba storyline type of thing, like, oh, Taylor was whatever the fuck, and here she is. But no, they get right into the fucking music, which I think was good. I could have, you know, a casual fan like myself could have gone for a little storyline, I guess, but now they get right into the music. She looks great, you know, I mean, Taylor Swift looks great, and she sings well. And I do notice with her, as opposed to some other people, and I guess, you know, who would I compare her to? You know, Madonna or whoever the fuck else. She doesn't over dance, if that makes any sense. Like, she's not, like, yes, she's active, she's moving around, but I don't think, like, dancing is her forte, so to speak. So she kind of gets by on, like, cutesy eye rolls. Like, she's got really nice eyes, and she's almost like a mime. Like, she can kind of play her eyes very well. And she has nice eyelashes and everything. And she moves her hands like kind of an interesting way. in her arms and shit. And she shakes her hips fairly well. I mean, not Shakira well. But I mean, you talk about, I don't know who to compare her to. I mean, even like a Britney Spears years ago. Surprise, I don't think Britney Spears ever had a theatrical film, or Aguilera. I don't think she ever had a theatrical concert film. I guess I'm just thinking of like Madonna or whoever the fuck else, or even, you know, like the Rolling Stones. I mean, just certain bands are really physically active on stage. And yes, Taylor is moving around. She's doing the costume changes. I mean, maybe even a Lady Gaga, if I'm not, but Taylor is not, she's not like a super dancer, and that's fine. She's a singer. She's not supposed to be a goddamn dancer. But I mean, what I do like about her style, though, is that she modulates. You know, she doesn't try to do more than she's good at. So, and maybe she knows, like, hey, you know, dancing's not my specialty, so she doesn't overdo it. So good for her. I did bail after Bad Blood. I'm suffering through a minor pain right now, and I really wanted my fucking Advil, and I had to get to the car, and then I knew, like, once I get to the car, I'm not going to want to go back in there. So I waited till I was really pushed myself to get through, because I wanted to hear my favorite song of hers is Shake It Off, which she played, and then she probably played my second favorite song of hers, which is Bad Blood. And then I'm like, okay, that's my moment to leave after I hear Bad Blood. And then she started in with the acoustic stuff. And she's like, well, this is like the song for the people that have been following me since I was, you know, an embryo or whatever the fuck. So she brings out this acoustic guitar and she's playing this fucking song. I guess the people in the audience fucking knew it. I didn't know it. And the girls in front of me, the kids, they're like screaming this, like she's like, Taylor's singing this song like acoustic and like kind of mellow and soft. And they're like screaming it at the top of their lungs, and it's like, fuck. So I mean, just because they have horrible voices, you know what I mean? Because they're not singers, they're audience members of a fucking movie theater concert, and they don't understand that you don't have to stand up and scream at the theater or each other. But in any goddamn way, that was my cue to leave. That was my cue to exit. I'm glad I experienced this. I don't feel like I missed out on too fucking much. I'm sure that there was some big fucking thing the last 5 minutes of the movie or the concert movie that I didn't see, that everyone will be hashtagging and cluster fucking. But look, if you saw the movie, if you saw the concert, feel free to leave your opinion or your opinion of my opinion. And maybe then I'll leave my opinion of your opinion of my opinion in the comments section. You can subscribe or not. This is one Mike Messier. I do Mike's Instant Movie Reviews, my life rants. If you like pro wrestling and sports, go to One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan. That's my channel for that. If you like art, one artist, Mike Messier. You might be surprised at how good my fucking art is. If you want to see, oh gee whiz, Mike, what the hell do you do with your life? Go to One Man in a Camera Films to see my short films and so forth. Avalonia Festival, my film festival, has its own YouTube page now. And so on and so forth. So that's about it, folks. So Taylor Swift, I applaud you. She is, in some degree, a neighbor. She's purchased a home in Rhode Island, a state that I lived in for many years. So I do, and look, I give her respect. She's formed this audience bond. She's bonded with you, the audience, and even casual fucks like myself coming off the street, put my little hat on and go see the thing, and there you go. So good job, Taylor Swift. Mike Messier, my opinion.